XRP broke out above that 62.5 cent range yesterday, hitting our upper areas of expectation. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the technical analysis on XRP, and I'll be sharing my short and medium time expectations in terms of that price action. Now, as I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and let's take a look at what's going on here with basically XRP's price action. So XRP paired up with USDT on the 1 hour Binance chart here. And you can see that we were looking for moves up into this upper area. This was basically 61.49 to 62.5. Okay, we were looking at the initial rejections of this little area here, this little yellow box. And this was coming in at 59.47 and 59.6. We've got a nice clean break, a retest of this area. So we could have been looking at a long position if we weren't already kind of finding the support on the 200 EMA. We could have gone long, as we were kind of talking about in previous videos, in and around the kind of testing of the 200 EMA. And this break up here with a retest and a higher highs and higher lows, this would have been probably the one to kind of go for, entry in and around this area right here, just on the support and breakout of the 50 EMA. And then we would have put a tight stop loss lower than the previous swing low, targeted out at least 1.5 on the risk reward ratio. And you can see this would easily have hit profit, and potentially, you know, if we could have ridden this all the way up to that 61.49 on a 3.91 risk reward ratio. So these are the trades that we've been talking about. These are why we've been kind of articulating that there's this move to the upside under this diagonal based pattern. And basically it does look like we are almost there. I don't think it's fully done, but we have had a nice clean rejection here so far. So I want to be kind of keeping a close eye on the price action over the next probably 24 to 48 hours to see whether or not we can break higher. And there's one potential scenario where we can see the potential rally higher than 62.59, which was what occurred basically at the 1700 hours on Saturday. Okay, so great moves to the upside, kind of hitting those areas that we've been talking about for a while and basically completing out that kind of final fifth wave pattern that we've been monitoring on XRP's price action. Now, of course, this is a part of, basically an overlapping price action in higher highs and higher lows on the 1 hour time frame. This is going to be looking for a bit of a pull to the downside. I know our kind of target range on the daily time frame is 75 cents. It just doesn't look like this is how we kind of navigate our way there. I'd like to be wrong on that, so I'm going to be open to the idea that maybe we have some kind of zigzag pattern that gets us up there, but for now it looks to me like this is where our expectations were, where we've been rejected from at the moment. So I want to be thinking about, you know, whether or not this is going to be a reversal in the market now. Okay, so taking a look at our stochastic RSI on the 1 hour time frame, we've got some more volatility to be seen. On the 4 hour time frame, we've got loads of progression to the downside, same on the 8 hour as well. So want to be aware that although our hourly still shows a bit of a move to the upside, this is the upper area of resistance, 61.49 to 62.5. If we do see a little bounce up today, then we are going to be looking for typical retracement zones, in my opinion. So we're going to be looking for price action to really kind of move up to 61.67, upwards to maybe 62.37. I'm going to go ahead and draw in a little yellow box here, just so you guys can see what I'm looking at in terms of that particular price action there. Okay, so as you can kind of see, 61.67 to 62.37, it's going to be an area where we can see potential rejection. If I pull this across, you can kind of see we've been in and out of this range a bit. So if we're going to see a bounce today, we're going to be looking for rejection from this area, and we're going to be looking for an additional pull to the downside from here, looking for support in and around the 50 EMA, 50 SMA or 200 EMA for a potential rally from there. So we'll keep a close eye on that. But my expectations on the next kind of trading opportunity is not really to go long here, but we'll be looking for reversals in the market, looking for those confirmed rejections, and actually thinking about a short from somewhere up here with a stop loss higher than a previous swing high. And we'll be targeting out 1.5 on the risk reward ratio, which would actually just be a retest of around this area here. So hypothetically, we would be looking for an entry at around that kind of 62.02 with stop loss at 62.67 and take profit at 61.04. That would be one approach to it. Of course, if we do see a confirmed rejection from this area, we could probably be a little bit more aggressive and think about this previous area that we were kind of consolidating as another retest, more towards kind of 59.92, maybe even 60 cents flat would be a very interesting area as well. Risk reward ratio will be 3.11 on something to that effect. We could of course put a trailing stop and all that kind of good stuff in there as well, but lots of trading opportunities on this 1 hour time frame, and I do think the shorts are slightly better options than the longs at the moment. And speaking of trading, we've got some fantastic offers and exclusive bonuses for the cheeky crypto community, courtesy of the Blowfin exchange. As you can kind of see here, the whale campaign 2.0 is now in full swing. So on top of the usual kind of benefits that you get of getting up to $10,000 of deposit and trade rewards, depending on how much you deposit and obviously trade on the platform, they're also now giving you the opportunity to get your hands on a Model 3. There are several different prizes up for grabs from Blowfin just for signing up using the link in the description down below and trading and basically depositing and trading on the platform. It's quite straightforward. So if you're a trader, this is a fantastic opportunity not to be missed out on. As you can kind of see here, we have the Apple Watch SE. This is for trading volume above 3 million, which sounds a lot more or sounds a lot more difficult than it actually is. The volume is take a volume, which is only considered. The rewards will be sent within 2 days after the end of the event. Prizes will be distributed in equivalent USDT after the event ends. Each user can only get the reward once based on the highest trading volume during the activity period. 10% cashback, the amount transferred into the futures account minus the amount transferred out of the futures account, obviously 10% of that. And you have the bonuses as well on there. So some fantastic things. As you can kind of see here, as we go up to 15 million in trading volume, you get the Herman Miller chair. You then obviously get a camera here, the Canon EOS R5 at 25 million volume. 50 million will get you a travel fund of $5,000. If you're into your bikes, a Kawasaki Ninja 650. This is for a trading volume above 100 million, and of course the Tesla Model 3 with 300 million in trading volume. So this is a fantastic opportunity to take advantage of everything that this has to offer. So this runs until October the 4th. Why don't you go ahead and check the link in the description down below and sign up to Blowfin and start actively trading and start bagging yourself some of these fantastic deals. Okay, let's roll this up into a daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we do see things slightly differently. Okay, we are in an area of still lower highs. We got very, very close with yesterday's move, almost piercing up above that 63.1, which was our swing high of the 24th of August. That there would give the market a little bit more confidence on XRP's price action towards our kind of 75 to 85 cents. I've been talking about this for a while now. Like, I'm not that confident that we have the momentum to support 75 to 85 cent breakout. But if we were to see some higher highs coming in on the daily time frame, I think the sentiment is going to become really bullish very quickly, and then we can start to see the 75 to 85 cent rallies that I've been talking about. But as I've been kind of talking about for a while, my actual expectation is more of a move back down towards 50 cent, and I think that's going to be an interesting area for retest. So obviously at the moment we're above the 200-day EMA, above the 50 EMA, above the 50 SMA. So things are looking pretty bullish, and we do have some higher highs being set here at the moment. But until we break above these major swing highs that we had before, specifically the 24th of August, or what we saw on the 7th of August and on the 31st of July, these are major areas that we need to see kind of get broken through. It's good progression at the moment, but looking at everything that's going on here, I'm a little bit cautious about whether or not we can go into those kind of big breakout situations. Instead, like I say earlier, the shorts do appear to be the better options at the moment, but there is still the possibility that we do have another push to the upside and do a bit of a short squeeze, essentially get rid of some of those short positions in the market before we actually move on down. Our momentum on the stochastic RSI did have a nice correction to the downside, but at the same time, over the last couple of days, it's rapidly moved back towards the overbought area, and we haven't really had a major break to the upside. So unfortunately, it doesn't really give me the vibes that we're going to be seeing major moves to the upside. Instead, I do think that actually this is a bit of a short squeeze going on rather than anything else. Now, if I bring back our stochastic RSI, turn that off, and bring in the divergence indicator, the relative strength index, we did see some bearish divergence, as again you could see in here. We kind of saw the push back down towards the 50 EMA, and at the moment we are still quite high on this relative strength index. Historically speaking, this is an area where we have seen a lot of resistance coming in, and you can see all these bearish flags coming in here. There's not many bullish ones, but a lot more bearish divergences when it comes to these momentum indicators. And so we want to be aware that the price action for XRP, unfortunately, can potentially be leading us into the idea that we might be starting to see a bit of a pull to the downside. This is also backed up when we start taking a look at volume profiles, in the way that volume profiles have been really kind of low and decreasing in comparison to where they were. So for example, here you can see on the price action that we had our W wave. Our W wave saw an increase in volume. Our X wave saw a decrease in volume, so that's good. And then of course, volume profiles have just kind of been sideways from here, even though we've pushed up a little bit higher on that price action. This tells us that there isn't a huge appetite to continue this run to the upside, and we need to be cautious about a potential fake out and a potential move to the downside. Okay, now we don't want that, obviously. We want to see an increase in volume. We want to see more confidence coming into the market, which we can see in yesterday's candle here just a little bit, with a slight increase on the previous volumes that we were seeing, but they're still not giving us the kind of support that we were looking at in those initial kind of moves from July into August. So we want to see more volume coming in here rather than decreasing volume. Obviously, we see a little bit of decreasing volume here at the early stages. And yeah, we want to see more good volume coming in. And that's the reason that we see this stochastic RSI moving the way that it does. This is showing that there isn't a lot of volume. There isn't a lot of activity going on. And that's why the momentum is quickly becoming overbought rather than oversold. Okay, so it's important that we note that essentially the volume profiles, the fact that there isn't a lot of demand coming in for XRP, is showing us that the momentum is not supporting a big breakout. Okay, so great that we've had these moves to the upside. My expectations will be that there's still the potential for a bit more volatility and a bit more of a retest of some of those existing lows. Hopefully we don't have to go terribly too low before we get there, but like I say, my concerns are around that 50 to 45 cent levels. Should we start losing some of these key support levels and we start really kind of tanking the price action, then yeah, we are going to be, in my opinion, looking for deeper retracements. But for now, we have hope that maybe we can find support in and around kind of 55 cents on the 200 EMA, maybe 57 on the SMA and the EMA, the 50 EMA, 50 SMA. They could be support levels for us, and then we can kind of see those progressions towards 75 to 85 cents. Everything's still on track for that. So if you were in the market going long in and around some of these corrections that we were monitoring before, then of course, we are still targeting out 75 to 85 cents. That hasn't changed. There's some great risk reward ratios in on that, heavy in profit at the minute, but just be really cautious, because I do think that this is going to turn quite nasty at some point soon, and I do think we're going to be a lot of long positions that get liquidated in the same way that there's a lot of short positions getting wiped out at the moment on XRP's price action. So lots of things to kind of consider, but those are my thoughts and opinions on the data in the charts as I personally see it. What are yours? Let me know in the comments down below, or join us in our free Discord server. We would love to hear from you. And guys, if you haven't done so already, check out this video right here. It's not one you're going to want to miss.